Howdy, folks, and welcome to another day in the Milky Way. And tonight we got a really good show for you. It's going to be all about Yellowstone out of my new book. I really like this book. Remember what this one's called? It is called Milestones in History. It is a really cool book. I'm enjoying the heck out of it. It's all about lots of cool things in here. We got everything in here. Milestones in history. Literature, travel, mythology, sculpture, and art. It's illustrated. It's from 1887. And tonight, I'm going to do a little bit out of here what it says about Yellowstone Park. That's what they call it back then. Anyway, so that's what we're going to read tonight. We're going to read a little bit about Yellowstone. And if you don't know anything about Yellowstone, you can see in the background a little bit. They got buffalo there, buffalo and things. And what else did they got? They got this. Yeah. Okay, there we go. You know I'm all about the pictures. Who doesn't enjoy that? You know what that is? Old Faithful. So give us something to look at. I got some other ones on there too. There's Old Faithful. Never been there myself. Been close, but should have went. Didn't go. Maybe I will. Put that on my travel plans. If you've been there, send me an email. Tell me all about your story, about you going, what you experienced, what's like. And I'd love to hear from you about that. It's all about sharing. You know, there's a lot of things to share. And if you got good experiences, share them. Send me an email. Put it in the comments below. Give me a thumbs up, please. We're trying to grow the channel and get the Soul Tribe going. And I hope you all enjoy. Now, I know this isn't about fairies or this or, you know, it's not about spirits or things like that. But we'll get to some of that. But every once in a while, you know, you just need a little bit of break from that. Sit back, enjoy, think about some pleasant day. Who doesn't love to go and see nature? Go out, hug a tree. Remember, we're really about nature. We're the world gardeners of the world. And that's what I say. You know, be a gardener. We were made to be gardeners. Enjoy nature. Now if you live in the city and like it, well, then that's good too. But, you know, I think it's just in our human nature to enjoy a garden. Enjoy the outdoors. So I say go do that. Okay, Yellowstone Park. No country has grander natural scenery than our own. Of course that is. The charm of foreign travel lies chiefly in the points of historic interest. The poetic soul visits the sunny skies of Italy and catches inspiration in the thought that those hills and valleys once echoed to the voice and tread of classic poets and scholars. The ruins, as evidence of former greatness, form the chief attractions of most foreign countries. But in our own land, the traveler is thrilled at the sights of nature in the wild grandeur of her own beauty, unmarred by the hand of man and unmarked by the ruins of ambitious rulers. Here, nature's temples, built by nature's hand, fill the soul with wonder and admiration. We can scarcely appreciate the extent and beauty of our country till we have traveled over its surface, from the broad lakes on the north to where the flowers bloom in pre-settled spring in the south, and from the rock-bound New England coast across more than 3,000 miles of mountains and plains and valleys, rich in every variety of wealth, to where the sun enters the golden gate of the Pacific. Indeed, ours is a land of magnificent distances and boundless resources, of more than classic culture, of sturdy honesty and industrious manhood, combining itself every element of prosperity and beauty and national power and primacy. It seems but a few years since the excitement of a gold find in Montana Territory. In order to reach that region, it was necessary to travel over about 1,800 miles of mountains and valleys by team or on foot. The miners soon called attention to the delightful region of the upper waters of the Yellowstone River. The geysers, boiling springs, and canyon of the Yellowstone, with its lofty falls and charming cascades, soon attracted general attention as being the most wonderful portion of the world. In 1872, Congress set aside this region as a perpetual reservation for the benefit and instruction of mankind. In this act of Congress, it was styled as a national park. The park is 54 miles wide by 62 miles long and is situated in the northwest corner of Wyoming, being only a small corner of one of the greatest territories. It might seem as though, at first thought, to be very small in size, but compared to the old states, we find that the park nearly equal in area to Delaware and Rhode Island combined. Here again, we form an idea of the magnificent distances of our country. There are only 3 geyser regions in the whole face of the earth, and the national park contains by far the most noted of these. Upon entering the park by Lake Henry, the scenery is at once delightful and fascinating. It is full view stands the huge Sphinx, a tall crag rising above the surrounding peaks. At the top of the Sphinx may be traced the outline of a man's features. While looking toward it from the adjoining cliff, travelers trace the features and long beard of a Turk. Near the base of the Sphinx, may be traced the form of a child leaning against its massive support. Lone, a maiden, a commanding column of rock with her long wavy hair flowing down her back, stands a little figure in the park near what is called the paint pots. These paint pots are boiling springs, sometimes like the one represented in our art in the art picture here. They are filled with thick material representing paint. Besides these mud springs in the park that differ from the boiling springs, only to be filled with a thick mixture that boils constantly like mush. Bubbles arise and burst and splatter mud against the sides, thus building them up constantly into a crater. Within the park are several principal geysers. The first of these, known as Old Faithful, spouts its column of boiling water every 65 minutes. The explosion lasts only a few minutes, and there is a deep noise like the sound of heavy artillery. Then the spouting waters form a sight to be remembered. As the column of water breaks and falls towards the earth in rainbows, the steam rises and floats like a cloud. The water from Old Faithful rises from 100 to 150 feet. Its name is derived from a regularity of its action. In about 1870, it is said to have sprouted in intervals of about 3/4 of an hour. At first sight, the steam seems to take the appearance of a massive female holding an infant in her arms. This appearance is so constant that it has attracted attention. In early ages and in oriental chimes, the Old Faithful would have been defined, and a massive temple would have been erected near it, where might be worship this goddess of little children. The beehive, so called because of the shape of the mound or crater with the great noise, throws a column of boiling water that ascends about 220 feet. And the water, instead of falling back to the basin, is dissipated in a spray of vapor. The next one, the castle, varies in height, but sometimes reaches 250 feet. This geyser is named after its appearance being that of a ruined castle. The sides rise irregularly, one side being broken down so you can stand by it and look down into the crater. The giant has a massive and strong appearance. It sustains its eruption for 1 to 3 hours and throws a column of water about 5 feet in diameter and reaches its highest more than 250 feet. It has been known to continue its action for 3.5 hours. The giantess is also noted. This geyser lifts the main column to the height of about 60 feet, but shoots a thin sprite to more than 250 feet. The sound of the eruption is sometimes appalling, and in the case of the castle, its greatest efforts make a deafening noise and shake the ground like an earthquake. Other geysers may also be counted by the hundred, but in a good idea of them may be formed by what has been given distinct from the geysers. There are more than 10,000 boiling springs in the National Park of Yellowstone. In visiting this region, travelers do their washing by tying their clothes in a strong bag, or tying their clothes in a strong bag and lowering them by a rope into the boiling springs. Food may also be boiled in the springs. Some of the mud springs have a smell of sulfured hydrogen or ancient or rotten eggs, basically. The valley of the Yellowstone, in which the geysers and boiling springs are situated, is about 6,000 feet above sea level, or above sea level, since the higher and toward the southern part of the park. Nestled among the mountains, nearly 7,000 feet or 7,500 feet above the ocean, spreads out Yellowstone Lake, a delightful body of water 300 feet deep and large enough to float the regular navy of the world. The canyon of the Yellowstone is one of exceedingly beauty. The mountains rise from 1 to 2,000 feet on either side, and in this deep cut, the water plunges onward through 20 miles of unparalleled scenery. Now it plunges down the great falls as shown by our artists. More than twice the height of Niagara Falls, now it whirls past overhanging rocks. Now it spreads out onto the world-renowned crystal cascades, then gathers itself into deep and narrow stream as it is going to gain strength for the next headlong leap down some fearful precipice, always in its delight, and always the beholder of an entrance by its mangled power and splendor. The sides of this canyon are not the least among its attractions. Indeed, their splendor can not be described. They must be seen to be appreciated. It is really beautiful there. It is as if the Aurora, the goddess of the morning, had gathered up all the hues of the rainbow and mingled them with all the golden sunsets and autumn hues since the creation, and scattered them in broken fragments of beauty and charm, the soul of man. It may be but a reflection caught from the waving banner of angels, but such divine colors play along the rugged sides. In this canon, as do give us glimpses of the eternal. This is no fairy tale, for the rocks, all red and yellow and brown, with all their intermediate shades and all blended with the emerald green of the trees, give the region the appearance of a very fairyland indeed. In this description, we have not yet mentioned Tower Falls, rise more than 150 feet, nor Giant's Gate, the massive rocky opening along the canyon, which seems as if some huge being in primeval days has swung the backside of the mountain for a passway. Oh yeah. Oh, let's move this on to this. We got another picture. Well, that's what else we see in Yellowstone. Okay. Last but not least stands the capital of Liberty, a stately rock towering above the plain and surmounted by the American flag. There, night and day, this sign of our liberty keeps guard over the fairyland of our nation and this wonderland of the world. And there you go. So, anyway, who hasn't seen a bear like that? That's a big grizzly bear, isn't it? All right. Well, okay, I guess I can stop sharing that. There, I'm back. Look at that. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. If you've been to the falls, have you seen the Great Falls? Have you seen the river? The geysers is really pretty. I haven't seen it, but I've seen the river. I've seen, but I haven't seen the falls. I've seen some different other falls, but never the big falls. Making a point on my adventures to go out there and check it out. You know, you got to get out there and do those things. So with that, I hope you enjoyed that. You can close your eyes and imagine the beautiful scenery out there, the trees, and trust me, it is magnificent. The trees are huge. They are just towering above you. The green, they're just, everything's green and beautiful, and the wildlife is everywhere. The mountains in the background, just like here. It's just extraordinary. Yeah, I can't say enough of it. I've been places like that, and just makes me want to like stop and build a little cabin and just live off the land right there where I am. But if we all did that, we'd spoil it for everybody else. So, you know, that's kind of how it goes. You just got to go there and enjoy it. It's for everybody. I'm glad they made that park. I'm glad they made a lot of the parks. You know, we just go out and do it. Remember, you know, go out. You know, if you can't get there, look it up in a book. Hey, you got this magic box you're looking at right now. Look it up online. You know, watch a video of Yellowstone. I guess if you can't travel there, that's the best you can do. Do it. You know, there's lots of little places, lots of places in the world. You know, there's your own backyard too. Just look up at the sky, see the clouds, the sun shone down on you. And think of what a great world this is. You know, there's a lot of crazy things going on right now, but just think of the good things. The world isn't going to come and get you. It's just the other crazy people out there might. So with that, you got to remember, you're not one of those people. You're a good person. You know, go out there and spread the love. You know, smile at your neighbor, say hi, wave to them, just put on a big smile. And smiles are catchy. So as I always say, remember, be the frequency you want to receive and do it every day. Be the frequency you want to receive. Okay, everyone. Peace. Love y'all.